In this video, I'm going to talk about the view of the world from the Democrats' perspective as it relates to economics. Now, I'm going to speak about economics in a very different way than you may be used to. Many people like talking about Marxism, Keynesian economics, or the theories of Adam Smith and others. But I'm sure many of you already know about those theories, and those of you who don't still know the basic principles of capitalism and socialism. So instead of telling you what you already know, I'm going to demonstrate how I would express our ideas on the national stage and expose the Democrats' ideas on the national stage to a voter who may not know anything about economics or government to begin with. Because those are the people who are voting for the Democrat Party. Therefore, those are the people we need to be educating. Here in America, we celebrate the fact that everyone is different. We love being individualistic. We love having different personalities, different cultures, different values. Now, these differences lead us to walk different paths in life, and different roads lead to different places. The same is true of economics. The student who becomes an engineer will end up in a different place financially than the high school dropout. The accounting major will end up in a different place financially than the philosophy major. Now, this seems like common sense, and it is, but this is something that many people don't want to accept. They want to believe that every path in life should lead to the same place. The Democrats' theory of life is like what we are taught in art class. There's no such thing as good or bad art. No artwork is better or worse than any other. Someone might think that an art piece is better or more beautiful, but we're taught that's just opinion. In actuality, everything in art is equal. It all has the same validity in the art world, but this is exactly how liberals see the rest of the world as well. There's no such thing as a better lifestyle, a better religion, or a better work ethic. Everything is equal. So if everyone is equal, how is it that two people can have such different financial outcomes? There are only two ways to explain this. Either accounting is financially better to major in, whether it's because accountants are in high demand, or accounting skills are relatively more vital to a company's success than something like philosophy, or the accounting major has somehow cheated. Evan Sayet, an incredible thinker, gave an excellent analogy to explain this. He said, take a roulette wheel. There's no number on a roulette wheel that's better than any other, just like the liberals' thought process when they look at majors in college. No major is better than any other. But on this roulette wheel, if the ball lands on the same number 5 times in a row, and the same people win and the same people lose, well, that's a coincidence. It's kind of like a cosmic injustice. But if the number is landed on 100 times in a row, and the same people win and the same people lose, then it doesn't matter if you understand how it's being done or not, you know at that point that the game is fixed. That somehow the game has been rigged in favor of the people who keep winning. Now this, by the way, is why Democrats like Elizabeth Warren publicly say that the economy is rigged against the American people. She said that back in 2012 at the Democrat National Convention. Her words, not mine, by the way, that the economy is rigged. Because in her mind, everyone in America, no matter what path they choose in life, should have the same financial outcome. This is why they feel it's the job of the government to take away from the rich and give to the poor, because they believe the poor have just been cheated by the rich. That somehow, these same people, these same majors, accounting, engineering, computer science, whatever, they keep winning. And these other people keep losing for no reason. This is why they supported the Occupy Wall Street movement. This is why they support the minimum wage and Obamacare, because they're about forcing people who have more to give it up. Now here's the scary part. How is it that some countries are successful while others are failing? Reasonable people look at America, for example, and see that those things that make up our culture, like our founding documents, our Judeo-Christian founding, and our Protestant work ethic, etc., foster an environment of sustained prosperity and economic growth, while the liberal has no choice in their perverted view of the world but to see America as a horribly unjust country. And it isn't just luck, like on a roulette table, because America has been prospering far more than other countries for a very long time. In the mind of the liberal Democrat, this sustained success for hundreds of years is proof of conspiracy. It's proof that America has somehow cheated its way to the top. I know this is something that's difficult to believe for most people, but remember when President Obama said this?
I believe in American exceptionalism, just as I suspect that the Brits believe in British exceptionalism and the Greeks believe in Greek exceptionalism.
Now, he just said in that bite that every country is exceptional, because the idea of something being exceptional is in the eye of the beholder. There is nothing concrete or factual that makes America exceptional. It's just a matter of opinion, exactly like art class. He believes America is exceptional for no other reason than he lives here. If he lived somewhere else, he would think that country was exceptional, just as he said in that soundbite. This is why liberals try to explain our success by saying things like America has stolen the world's resources. But it goes beyond these types of claims. In order for them to convince you that there's no such thing as good or bad people or country, they must elevate evil and tear down what's right. They'll try to destroy America's image of being the good guy and the terrorists' image of being the bad guy by saying things like, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. As far as Israel is concerned, the liberals will seek to justify the terrorists who attack Israel and accuse Israel of somehow having provoked them. Because remember, if there's no such thing as a good or bad people, an evil or righteous people, then the only reason the terrorists would have attacked Israel is because they have just cause in doing so. So the liberals find a just reason for these attacks. And the more heinous the attacks by the terrorists, the more heinous the provocation from Israel must have been. After all, in terms of terrorist attacks, this one on the United States, Benghazi was all about a video that nobody had ever seen. See, it was the free speech in America that caused the attack, and not the evil nature of the terrorists. Now, this is something that we can certainly expound upon. You can see it taking place even in our own country, in our own culture, where liberals are promoting things like teenage promiscuity through their movies, their books, their funding of Planned Parenthood and all the other things. Or trying to tell people that there's nothing special about a mother or father. You just need two responsible adults to raise you. Trying to say that all lifestyles are completely valid and perfectly equal. There is nothing good or bad. There is no such thing as right or wrong. But the reason I focus so much on foreign affairs is that's when we have people get killed. Because of the false notion in the liberal mind that everything's going to be just fine. That everybody thinks like we do. That everybody's a good person. It's like in Benghazi. Why didn't we send any security in there? Well, that would be showing that we don't trust the people in that region. And surely if we're nice to the people there, they'll be nice to us. But we can't let this continue. We have to speak out against this. And if this is something that you believe, your representative should be sharing with the American people, then I need your support for the Republican nomination of Utah's 2nd District. Thank you.